this video, I'm going to show you how to install the second story mini grinder on top of the grinder. Now, if you had a flower pedal like this with a couple of very deep inside cuts, the first thing you do is use your glass cutter to cut around the outside perimeter, just like this. Then I'll use the grinder fitted with a 3/4 inch quick fit bit to clean up the outside edge. The grinder does a wonderful job on the outer edge, but the 3/4 inch bit is just too big to get inside those deep inside spaces. That's when the second story mini grinder comes in handy. I'll use this 1/4 inch threaded bit that should fit perfectly into that space right there. So let's go ahead and install the second story. I'll also grab the LumiShield cap because I'm going to need that. Then I'll remove the LumiShield, the splash guard, then place the LumiShield cap over the hole to make sure I don't get any water into the electrical fittings. Remove the stainless steel bit guard, then flip the locking tab on the quick fit bit to remove it. Then all that's left is to remove the Aquaflow brush unit. Now we're ready to install the second story mini grinder. Remove the grid surface and you'll find this orange water seal bushing. It's very important to install this bushing over the grinder shaft. Key it up to that flat edge and push it all the way down to prevent any water from trickling down the shaft. Next, we'll screw the 1/4 inch bit into the top of the grinder shaft. It only has to be finger tight. Then place the mini grinder water tray over the shaft and make sure it's seated. Put the Aquaflow brush system right there and make sure it's touching the back of the grinder bit. Then fill the tray with water, making sure you have enough to come to the base of the brushes right there. Replace the grid surface and that's it. The mini grinder is ready to go. Remove the LumiShield cap and place the splash guard into the slot. Then put the LumiShield back in, making sure it's seated all the way down. It's always a good idea to put your spare parts back into the drawer so you don't lose them. So let's put our 3/4 inch bit into the space right there, the LumiShield cap right there, and the stainless steel bit guard back into its position. Let's start up the mini grinder and get into those spaces that we couldn't reach with the larger bit. I'm applying a firm and steady pressure. It's grinding away smooth and efficiently with lots of moisture. Pull it back out of there and around the corner. See if we can't get grinding across the top here as well, just to clean that last bit up. And then we'll grind into this final piece here. Now, as you can see, it's not going to go all the way to the bottom here either. I'm going to need a smaller bit. The 1/4 inch bit did a fabulous job on this space, but there's a couple of spots here I'm going to need a smaller bit. Luckily, we have this 1/8 inch bit right here. Since we already have the second story in place, it's an easy installation. Just remove the LumiShield and the splash guard. Put that LumiShield cap back on to prevent water getting into that electrical compartment. Remove the grid surface and the water tray. Now all we have to do is loosen off that 1/4 inch bit. Then screw in the 1/8 inch bit to replace it. Put the water tray back on and make sure it's fully seated onto the top of the grid surface. Then replace the mini tray grid surface. Remove the LumiShield cap. Place the splash guard back in the slot and put the LumiShield back into its position, making sure it's fully seated all the way down. And then, of course, put away our spare parts. So let's grind that last section of our flower pedal. This 1/8 inch bit should be able to get to the bottom of that space without any problem. We're getting some coolant on there and it's grinding very nicely. And look at how beautiful that is. Ground those two spots, no problem at all. The second story mini grinder will come in so handy you won't remember how you managed without it. The Grinder, state-of-the-art breakthrough technology by Techniglass. Available now.